Hi guys, Craig here again. This video I've decided to do is a little bit of a follow-on, just trying to get the channel started, to try and explain kind of where I've started, where I'm at now, fitness-wise, and more following like how my body composition's changed since I really started putting an effort in around about January time. So around about January, I have a photo. Actually, I think it's for end of January, start of February, that I'm going to try and pop up somewhere over here. That I took off my fitness pal app. Well, I started using that basically to try and track how much I was eating, essentially, trying to clean up my diet a little bit. And I'd start going to the gym, probably about 4 or 5 times a week. Not really with the intention of putting on muscle. I had a bit of a funny body composition. For quite a slim bloke, I had a decent chunk of fat, but it wasn't in any particular. It was just around my guts, like tits for a skinny guy, which was a bit of a strange thing for me to have. Probably down to the amount that I used to drink and the amount of crap I used to eat. But anyway, so I'll stick up another photo, hopefully here again, that I took this morning, which kind of shows the difference between at the moment I'm probably a little bit lighter than I like to be, but that said, the amount of cardio that I'm doing at the moment, training for this marathon and hopefully trying to get the base on the bike for the Ironman, it's not really surprising, and actually being light's probably going to help me, so I don't really mind that so much. Basically what worked for me was routine, and I'd like to discuss a few little resources that I used. There was probably, I would say the two main big YouTube channels that I used to look at, that I used to get a lot of education from about how I would like to train and how to avoid injuries, what to eat, how to view your diet. The first one being Greg Desheff's channel. I'll link that below. I cannot recommend him highly enough. Shouts a lot, but he's a funny bloke. He's got some pretty strong opinions on things, but he's got a lot of great information there. The other one for training, especially if you want to avoid injury, and probably the two guys don't get on anymore, is Jeff Cavalier at AthleanX. Absolutely wicked resource for the amount of like exercises, training you can do with pretty much any equipment you can imagine. So at the moment everybody's in lockdown. I did a lot of stuff in the house with basically bands. I had a little crappy dumbbell set which probably was only maybe 15 kilos total, and a chin-up bar. That's pretty much all I used, and then my bike and my feet. So yeah, absolutely, if you want to sort of get into fitness and start exercising, go to the gym and things like that, have a look at those two channels, because the information on there is worth its weight in gold. It's brilliant. And if you just want to work out at home, again, AthleanX's channel's got loads of stuff you can use on there. But yeah, basically what worked for me was, it was all about routine. At the time, obviously, I lost my license when I had my brain up, so I've had to, from there, I had to figure out a way to get to work. The only way I could get to work was at 6 o'clock in the morning. There was a gym literally around the corner from where I worked, so I had to go to the gym for 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I was there pretty much every day. I know it might not be realistic for a lot of people, but it's just an example of how somebody, if you're in a similar position to me, where your routine and your day-to-day life gets disrupted, you can kind of sort of try and turn it into something positive. And I mean, that's what I did. I kind of fell into it. I had a friend who went, which also made it a hell of a lot easier. When you're there, I mean, the only recommendations I can make here is try not to look at the absolute huge fellas around. I mean, not everybody's genetics works like that, and even if your genetics do, there's a good chance they might even be on something if they're enormous, probably. But don't look at what other people are doing, just focus on your own stuff. Don't sit there and think, oh, the guy next to me, he doesn't look that big and he's got 60 kilos on there, I should be able to do 70 because I'm a strong lad. You're just going to hurt yourself. Just take it slow, work up to things, and really focus on the big ones for me was the time and attention, and trying to keep a track of what you do and maybe increase it by a tiny little bit each week. It's just the same as running. You go a little bit further, maybe a little bit quicker each week, and try not to do too much too quickly. You'll just hurt yourself. So the same principles apply as far as I can tell. Diet wise, again, Greg just goes into much more detail about this. It's not really viewing it as a diet. You need to have something you can live with lifelong. At the very start of when I started doing this, I tried going down the keto route, and I was getting kind of sick of it. I mean, I'm a pig for crisps and things like that. So, and the prospect of not being able to have them, it kind of put me off it. So, and at the end of the day, keto is great if you need it, if you enjoy it. But for me, I thought it just wasn't realistic for me to never eat another carb for the rest of my life. It seemed stupid. So, yeah, you need to find something that works for you, and then just really keep an eye on calories, calories in versus calories out. The more you exercise, the more calories you can take in. The less you exercise, the less you take in. You're just going to put weight on. But really, yeah, for me, it was more about the body composition. It wasn't so much about my weight. I'd quite happily get heavier if I was packing a bit more muscle, but as my PT Jared always tells me, nobody's ever turned around and said, I wish I was weaker. It's not so much about what you look like. I think it's more about what you can do. If you can get your body to do things that makes you happy, that's where you want to be. It doesn't really matter what you look like. You've just got to make sure you're healthy, make sure you're functional, and that's the best advice I've been given. But yeah, I'll leave that there. Like I said, there's a couple of pictures there just to kind of show where I'm at now. This is almost more of a baseline. It's like really, I've got, like I said, there's a few things coming up. I'm going to have to sort of watch what I do, and this is going to be a fun thing to look back on and see how it changes through my recovery and through my further training. So yeah, hopefully, like I said, the two channels are linked below. They're by far and away, I think, the two probably most valuable fitness resources on YouTube. Definitely go and have a look into them if you're interested in that sort of thing. And yeah, I'll leave it there. Take a look below. Hopefully the information's some help to you, and I'll catch you next time.